Is live.
It is indeed. All right, live stream. Let's get right into it. Hey, everybody, welcome to our live stream for Shogun episodes. Well, welcome to Small Couch Reviews. First, let me say that. It's your boy Sam.
It's your boy Jovi.
And of course, the one and only Matt Jones. Thank you for joining us. All right, so yeah, like I was saying, we are talking Shogun, FX's Shogun, episode 7.
Yes.
Yes. All right. Last week we did a deep dive, a long video into episodes 1 through 6. So you got time, go put that on in the background or put it on while you're driving. You hear our reactions to it. But Mr. Matt Jones, you're the one who watches it live as it comes on.
Right.
And you have notes. So why don't you go ahead, tell us what you want to talk about for this episode, because there's really something I really want to say.
There's so much to dive into with this episode, and I took a tip out of Jovi's book, and I actually took the time to write some notes. But I mean, a lot goes on in this episode. I mean, we'll just recap what happened in the last episode to kick it off. We're coming right off of this earthquake that eliminates most of Toranaga's army. He needs to find a new plan. So he concedes finally to this concept of Crimson Sky. We saw that he was like kind of reluctant at first. He was like, "Oh, I'm not going to do that." But after certain things transpire, it's like the only logical avenue to take. So I mean, I love how this episode starts. I feel like kind of like a running theme is every single episode we get a little bit more of each character's backstory. And this time it's Toranaga's turn. And I think that's a perfect place for us to start.
I actually forgot that they showed him as a little boy in this episode.
Yeah.
He was like, what, 10?
I think they said he was 12.
12.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right.
He hadn't even pillow yet.
Yep. He said, rarely does a person win their first battle, win their first war before they even pillow to pillow. Wow.
Yes.
But yeah, man, I mean, intense stuff. You get to see kind of like a little bit of why Toranaga is who he is. I felt like in prior episodes, he kind of gave us like the sense of this tortured past type of individual. And we never really why, right? Like, but now we get to see when he was unsure of himself, when he was like had this greatness thrusted upon him, and it kind of foreshadowed what happened later on in the episode, which I will wait to talk about. But yeah, man, this scene was really, really crisp. It was really well done. Gave us a lot of perspective as to who Toranaga is when you peel back all of these layers.
Right.
He has a quote in this episode, now that I'm remembering, where he says something along the lines of like, he's like, it's so funny how people who've never battled are the ones who want to do it most. And you're right. You see him as like, I guess, a 12-year-old, and he has to not only does he fight a war, he has to chop someone's head off. And it's like, man, you do that when you're 12. Yeah, of course you're gonna grow up like that. So I do dig that. I do like you said, we're getting more of his story.
Right.
And just the story crafting is just excellent all around, man, for every single character. Now, this episode, I'm gonna let y'all go because I only want to talk about 2 people this episode.
Oh my god!
I talk about Fuji, because I feel like she's starting to we're starting to see she's gonna have a bigger role, and I want to talk about my man Toda, Mariko's husband. That's how I want to talk.
Oh my god!
No, that man is a hero. Okay.
Oh, boy.
So we're gonna definitely butt heads on this.
Oh yeah. Okay. Go. Oh, hey, look, man. But yeah. All right. So this gent we get to meet his brother, who has he's wearing that giant hat. He's wearing that giant hat.
Yo, I thought that was so cool how they made the distinction between like the different types of tribes, because I feel like up until now everybody's kind of look the same, but they create this huge distance between these 2 individuals because when their people come together, they don't even resemble each other. They don't.
No.
It's just like totally different.
Yeah.
His whole swag, his whole everything that he's wearing, it's over exaggerated. It's a color not for war. Like you would stand out like a sore thumb in those woods. And so it just does not match. And you know, as we go through the episodes, you realize that he wants that land. He doesn't fit that land. So it's like that, even that little detail made his character stand out from me. That's my standout. I really liked his character.
You did. I liked him too. I feel like how do I say this? I feel like the shot, like this might be jumping ahead a bit, but he is clearly not as smart as he thinks he is. Like,
not at all.
Just like the tea lady, I guess the madam, I'll call her. He can clearly see it too, and it's just like what she said about, yo, Toranaga, you are not this dumb to just let something like this happen. I was sitting there thinking, like, yeah, you know what? They know that you need allies. Of course, the first person you'd go to is your brother. I feel like he would anticipate that happening. So whatever is happening, I feel like he's just keeping it close to his chest, man, and we're in for a heck of a ride.
Yes, he's keeping those three hearts. Those three hearts.
Yeah.
Do you think that he is? Because I go back and forth about that. I go back and forth like. Another running theme through this story is, man, Toranaga is like a chess player, and like he's playing the long game. But it seems like at every turn he's kind of getting outdone. Like every step of the way, like there's always something that meets him that alters his plan, where he has to adjust and change. And it's like, I was going to believe that this is all things that he's already known were going to happen.
No, because I don't believe that. I don't believe that.
The reason why I say that is because when we first meet Toranaga's brother, between the clothes, even his demeanor, it's so disarming, right? Like he cracks jokes, he's like sharing, hearty old stories about the good old days.
Right.
But if you look closely, Toranaga never drops his guard. He never like fully is like, oh yeah, like my brother's embracing me. He's like,
he doesn't like his brother.
No,
yeah, don't like
at all.
He calls him an idiot. He's like, I'm spending money on this man, and he doesn't like him.
No.
Yeah.
He wants his army and nothing else. And if I'm his brother, I'm like, bro, you treat me like this, of course I'm gonna betray you.
Yeah. I mean, we slowly know why. Yes, he does betray him. And in my head, after he betrays him, I was like, maybe this is just a play so that he actually has his army with him, and then they send their army and they have their army right there. You have given us a chance to get y'all away from the castle, and I've already set up a whole nother army to go do Crimson Sky.
Yeah.
So it's just like it's like that's what I was thinking the whole time. Not to go too far, as we keep saying, we get all the way to the end of the episode, and I'm like, oh, how is this going to work out if that was the plan, or once again has someone that never seen war ruined the plan?
Yeah, this episode reminded me. It's a famous quote. I'm gonna misquote it, but it's something like, "It doesn't end with a bang, but with a whimper," and it's like, yeah. All this bloviating and talking that this young man did, and that's really how you go out.
Yeah.
To me, it's like
we discussed this earlier. Every episode's ending on these cliffhangers that are truly pushing the story along. It's not one of those situations where, oh, this happens. It's just they're going to move on. No, this is going to change the course of everyone's plan. Within this, because there's a lot of moving pieces with this episode, and I really want to hear y'all thoughts on that. Like, how many people are playing chess, including the madam? Like,
she is actually. I feel like she's foreshadowing. She's basically setting up what's going to become a red light district in Tokyo.
Oh, yeah. Like
Yeah,
literally,
man.
where we can't go as Americans in Osaka right now is what
Yeah,
she's talking about.
yeah, man. Um, I don't know. I feel like really it's Toranaga. It's clearly the dude who his subordinate who's been trying to play both sides.
Yeah,
Yabushi.
he
Yeah.
looks shook this episode. This
I'm
Yeah,
not
you
whole
gonna
know,
episode.
something about him when he was talking to John.
Yeah,
There's something about him. I really think the dude just wants to have land and be left alone.
I
Like I don't
agree.
feel like he's
that's
evil,
it. That's
I feel like
it.
he has been slowly becoming my favorite character in the story
Yeah.
because he is like, man, forget all of these politics. Even when he's presented with all of this political jargon and all
Mhm.
of this stuff, he's like, man, I've known you forever. Like that's like his go-to type of thing. He's like, man, I
Yeah.
just want to live. I just want to have something so I can like be stable.
Right.
And I think that he contemplates a lot. Like he
Yes.
goes back and forth in his mind, like, man, is this worth it? And I think that that is like a human element, and he just wears it
Mhm.
on his sleeves. But it's clear that when the rubber meets the road, he sides with Toranaga, right? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, he sides with Toranaga because that's what's keeping him alive, though. He would side with Ishido if he needed to.
he's a
Like,
practical guy. He's a practical
yeah.
guy.
But like the thing that got me was, he was sitting there, and there's this dude that everyone blames for everything in John. They're like, everything started when you came here. And
Right.
he's like, yo, pick up your sword. Let me show you how to fight. And he's
Yeah.
fighting him, and he could very easily kill him.
Yes.
Or he could let, what's his name, Toda kill him. And he's just sitting there like, bro, what are you doing? Like, he's so chill. It's
Yes,
just
he's like, what is this? Like,
Yes.
what the heck is going on?
like
Again,
everyone knows you're about to die, and he just doesn't
he
care.
lives a simple life, just like that's why he was the one controlling that side, those land, like the warrior wise.
Yeah.
He was controlling that land. He's like, man, this is chill over here. Let me get this.
Yeah.
Like, if this white boy is gone, then maybe things can go back to normal.
Yeah, man.
You know,
And speaking of, real quick, John, even though this episode didn't really focus on him that much.
Yeah.
I'm very shocked his head is still on his shoulders, bro.
Yeah,
like,
I didn't.
This man be saying stuff that he like, listen,
bruh, after
what I've learned or what I've read about samurai history, he has uttered too much disrespect.
Yeah.
It may be good that they don't really understand what he's saying.
And I think that's what it is. Yeah.
Exactly.
Right. You can tell when somebody's coming at you. It don't matter
Like, my
what
man
language.
was like, yo, and he was like, man, forget Toranaga. All of you about to die because of him. And
Yep.
literally just walked out.
He says it in Japanese. So I'd be like, oh, I'm going to die, huh?
All right.
Your swords would have been. Like, no way you're gonna say, and y'all are all gonna die, and no one says anything.
Yeah,
no
that's
one
crazy,
does anything.
man.
They're just like, okay, let's just let him walk away. That's an aspect of the show that is starting to piss me off. That he gets away with everything.
That just makes me feel like, yo, what is the bigger play? Because even though we know the reason why he's being kept around, it's like, what is really the reason? And John, at a certain point, thanks to my notes, he even has a moment where he goes to Toranaga to ask, like, I've got all of these gifts, you've given me all of these titles. What is the end play here? Because when it comes time for me to try to serve, you ignore me. Like,
Yeah.
you have nothing
I
for
agree.
me.
What do you want from him?
What is the play? Like,
Right.
What is his purpose in the grand scheme of these things? I mean, you literally have Toranaga, his son, the translator, and him. They're and Toranaga's right hand man. They're like at this setting when he concedes to meet the council. What makes the Anjin that important that he would be present for something like that?
Right.
Very
Not. And then he doesn't know what the hell's going on. She's trying to like whisper until like he says it's like, but it's like, no, bro, like you can't really understand the severity of it besides him saying, oh, you gave up.
Mm-hmm.
That's that.
Right.
You supposed to be this big guy, this big boss, whatever he says, like grand master, whatever. And then I just don't. I do side with John on this. What the heck are you keeping me alive for?
Yeah. I mean, even he clearly has no problem with dying. Even when your boy pulls his blade out, he's like, well, might as well happen here. Like, I'm already all these miles away from home. I've been in this godforsaken place. Can't speak the language. I should have died. Homie even hints at it. I'm sure you wish you were in that pot.
Yep.
He said it.
Yep.
Yeah, he's like, it would have been better for you if you stayed there, right? Be with your man. Like, yeah, I get it, man. There's a lot. It's like, that's like, it's like, so there's so much against them right now, man. I think
that pot.
You said what?
Pot. I'm just thinking about the pot being boiled alive.
Oh yeah, man. That's
pretty
not good. So before we talk about the hero of the episode,
my God,
the brother though, when so they're sitting in the when they're sitting in the room and he's talking about what his brother did when he was 12. Which you can clearly tell, like, it didn't happen. He was like, yeah, he cut off his head in one stroke. I was like, ain't no way a 12-year-old cut off his head in one stroke. Yeah. But he's sitting there. And what I really liked about this scene is it seems like he actually admires his brother. But then he's sitting there and he's like, oh, yeah. And he said something like, why don't you give me this island and I'll give you my army or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, and he knows it's an outrageous ask. But he's like, well, it was already promised to me by your enemies. So it's like, I like that. It's like, I feel like he would have helped. He admires his brother, but he realizes his brother doesn't like him. And I feel like I love that aspect because it's like, yo, if you had shown him respect, if you had,
you really feel like if he would have been nice to his brother, that he would have been on his side. I think he's about self, man.
I think that he was
his character.
Yeah, I think he was. I think that he was trying to tease him. Even with the stories, it was like, I think that he knows that he didn't cut off his head. Because he even makes that point. He's like, what do you want more? Do you want legend? Yeah. Like, of course, this would sound, like, he makes the point to, like, decipher or make the distinction between how good a legend sounds and how good the truth sounds, right?
Truth sounds, yeah.
The legend is that your father cut off this guy's head at 12 with one blow. But the truth is, he got scared and crapped his pants on this horse when, he was older than
when he left his mom for the first time.
Well, that was mom for the So
it's like, which one do you want?
It actually took 9 strokes to cut that man's head off.
Exactly. So I think I agree with Javon. I think that this dude was teasing him that entire time. He was taunting him that entire time. I think I agree with you. He knew that he wasn't going to get that. That's why he even asked. Because he's like, I'm going to ask you for this
in front of everyone. But he's like, yo, I want to finish this in the morning. And then he starts throwing out. He already, like, that deal was made.
Yeah, it was already made.
I'm trying to think of, like, time-wise, what makes sense. Like, how long did they know, like, this was the play? Compared to how long they've been, like, they sent the homie that got killed by the cannons, one of the greatest scenes in TV. But like how long are these transactions being, like, how the heck did they get in contact with them? And then he was like, oh, all right. And how did no one see? Because when you have an army and you are at war, you're gonna have little spies everywhere watching. So he had to have somebody watching his brother. So that's why I've been saying this entire time, even with the way the episode ends, that this has to be his play. This has to all be his plan.
I feel like the way the episode ended when his son walks in and tries to kill him, which honestly, I'm like, what did you like? I thought they were going to chop off his head when he first betrayed him and was like, oh yeah, my army surrounded you. I'd have killed him right there, but that's just me.
I mean, he was supposed to commit seppuku, right? He was supposed to kill himself, but his father told him, don't accept it, right?
Oh, no, not even that.
Right.
Well, that right there, so that real quick, that right there, How you gonna? He said, "Oh yeah, you killed this man, so here's your orders." Why would you take that? Like, what's wrong
He
with
was
you?
like, "Don't shoot! Don't shoot!"
Right? It's like, are you stupid?
He was just like, "Huh? Yeah, okay, Uncle." After you literally just showed that you are not our friend, you
Right.
are not on.
But I mean, I'm surprised that Toranaga's brother survived that ordeal because I'd have killed him right there.
Yeah.
I feel like so you know when he was in the tea house, the girl he was with said like, "I have a surprise for you" or something. I feel like the son messed that up because I feel like the woman was about to go do something that was gonna really like. I feel like she was about to like poison him or something.
She was going to take care of it. I think she was going to take care of it for the madam, and then he would have been on the madam's side.
Exactly. I feel like the madam took things to her own hands.
Yeah.
But then his stupid son comes in, tries to kill him, has a sword on him, and slips on a. What did he even slip on?
Slips on a rock.
He slipped on a rock.
Slipped on a rock.
Hit his head and died. Okay, cool.
Yep. When instead of doing all that yelling and all that, he could have just literally went straight at him, and it may not. He could be strong enough, and just right through. He was disoriented. He was drunk. He didn't know what was going on. Like he was so scared. He could have just. It would have been done, but that wouldn't have been good TV.
I want to point out that out of all of the deaths that have happened, for it to be him slipping on a rock, for some reason, this one was just far more impactful, like on a gory side of it. For some reason, this grossed me out more than, like, I feel like
his
it was
whole head, like his head was the size of the rock, and it was just bleeding out, and he was still alive.
It reminded me of the Gwen Stacy death in Amazing Spider-Man 2, where it's like it was, quick. It was like not a bunch of like actual gore, but the realistic nature of just like, and like your head hits a rock. Like the fact that could actually happen to you is like, it was just devastating.
And he's not the last heir though, right? He has another son.
Probably.
Yeah, doesn't have one on the way? He's got one on the way, right?
Yeah, I think so. He has another son. No. So that's gonna make this very interesting too, because it's like, you were kind of we can do better. It's like I can raise another one that can actually be a warrior.
That's where I'm holding off hope for a spinoff because he has more heirs.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm hoping, and I mean they said that the show is doing a lot better than they projected.
I mean, I don't think how they could ever think that this wouldn't do well.
All right,
for a limited series, and it is number 1 on Hulu right now.
Yeah,
it's the only reason I still have my Hulu subscription, to be honest with you. Let's talk about him. I'm gonna say it again. I'm gonna say now. Listen,
go. I
want y'all to hear this.
Yeah, no, because we do need to break this down because you have a very interesting take.
I want you to imagine this, okay? You have a woman whose family is murdered and she is set to die. You save her by having her marry into your prestigious family, okay?
First of all, there's 2 things.
What?
The father orchestrated the marriage to save her.
Okay. He agreed. What's his name? Toda agreed to it.
It's true. And she says in the episode where we see that happen that the family is not prestigious.
No, what she says is the family means nothing to us. So they're like, okay, fine. You marry into a middle-class family when you could have been dead or poor on the ground, okay?
No, she definitely should have been dead, yes.
Okay.
Right.
14 years you've been married. You've shown me no affection, and every single year you have asked to die. You would literally be dead than stay with me. And then this foreigner comes. And in what? How many weeks has it been? What? Let's say six weeks or so. You've shown him more affection in that time than you've shown me in 14 years. So you don't want to die. You just don't want it's literally like you're not suffering so much you want to die. You just don't like me. And then I have the opportunity to kill this man who has destroyed my family, okay? My lord says, hey, he can go, but your philandering wife has to go too. And you say, nah, I still love this traitorous woman that much that I'm not gonna condemn her to death, even though she deserves it. Why? Because she's cheating on me with this foreigner. Nah, man. Nah. That man's a hero, dog. He a hero,
Okay.
and I don't care what y'all say.
I got 2 rebuttals.
Go ahead.
I don't.
And I'm gonna start light and I'm gonna end strong, right?
Yeah.
The reality is she wants to die, period.
Regardless.
In this episode, she gives the dagger to Toranaga as a sign of, look, just end this for me. I want to die. It's not about who she married. It's not about any of that. She believes that she was supposed to die with her family, regardless of who she was married to or anything.
Do you think she still wanted to die in episode 4 when she was sleeping with Anjin?
Yes,
when they were down by the hot springs and they were talking about life and freedom?
I do. I think
no, she didn't. No, she didn't. She was happy being with him.
And I'm not saying that she wasn't, because I think that is like the beauty of the writing of these 2 characters.
Yeah, even when she loved him and he loved her.
No, I don't think that's the dynamic.
I don't know if it's love. I don't know if it's love.
I think it's an admiration of a different perspective. The way that they have their conversation, where she's trying to get him to understand the way that in their culture they find importance and worth and honor, and how he is trying to encourage her to see value in self. They're 2 very, very strong ideals that are coming to a head. And I feel like she challenges him in a certain way and he challenges her in a certain way. I think that they stimulate each other's like mental, right? Now, the reason why I don't think that he is a hero.
Okay.
He beats his wife. How you gonna say like, oh, I love you, and he beats her?
Okay, hold on.
He beats his wife.
He beats his wife. He beat her to a pulp in another man's house.
And then he said
not the first time that he's beat her.
Yes. What do you mean? We don't know that.
No. This is, come on now. You know for certain this is not the first time that he's beat this woman.
He was like, "It's the sake. I'm sorry,
sake."
Bro.
Like, how is
he offered his life after he did it.
He is going to betray them. I'm trying to tell you.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
That man saved all of their lives. Okay, he saved all of them on the water. And then when they came back, okay, when he comes back, he has to live in another man's house and finds out this other man is with his wife. Nah.
Yeah. He knows. He knows. That's what makes it worse.
The wife that he beats and disrespects on a like minute by minute basis.
Okay. All right, you got me there. I actually forgot that scene happened. I'm not gonna
how did you forget? And then he treats his kid, and it sounds like, oh, you sound like one of the girls in the, that work in the castle.
He's trying to, hey, hold on. No. I'm not gonna let you do that. I'm not gonna let you do that. His son is supposed to grow up to be a warrior. He's treating him hard. When you treat your son, if you let your son do what you do, you get another of Toranaga's sons. Nah, he ain't doing
it. If he loved her so much, you think that he would directly, intentionally try to embarrass her and her entire family, who was killed, by the way, calling her family scum, calling her the scum of the earth? Like, that's not what you do to somebody.
Matt, let me ask you something. After 14 years of straight cold behavior, how are you gonna react to somebody?
She gave him a child.
It's not cold behavior. He's not going to her like, oh, how can I help you? How can I help you?
No, okay, so in the first year of their marriage, you don't know he wasn't like that.
Come on, bro.
He could have been like that. And then after you keep trying. Yes,
at this point, now it's totally acceptable to shoot arrows centimeters from her face.
No,
that's totally acceptable.
It's not acceptable.
Like, we're talking about just him putting hands on her. He shot 2 precision arrows past her nose.
And he hit his target, though, right?
He hit his target because he's a warrior.
intoxicated. Even if he was not intoxicated, you do not do that.
That's wild.
To your wife,
because he doesn't value her life.
He clearly does, because he doesn't let her die.
No, he is being selfish.
He wants her. Yes, her. Exactly. He
wants to own her. He wants to control
her.
Right. He don't love her. Like what?
Nah, son. Nah.
That is the definition
he
of
loves his wife.
That is the definition.
He has nothing. He really has nothing else to live for with his, without his son being there. So if she's gone, yeah, he's just like he's content on her because he's alive. She's there. He knows that. He says it just like that. He's like, it's been too long.
I'm just saying,
it's been too long. It's been 14 years.
He could divorce her and get another woman. Why doesn't he do that?
He says it. He says it.
He wants to feel purpose. He knows that he is the reason she's living, right? He wants her to give him gratification. He wants to feel like he wants the thank you. He wants the gratitude. He wants that from her. The same thing that you're saying. He wants that gratitude. So until he gets that gratitude, no, I'm not killing you. No, I'm not letting you live on and be reunited with your family.
Looking at it from the wrong angles, huh?
I'm trying to tell you, bro.
He is not this good person you're trying to make him. He's a great warrior, but he's not a good person.
He's not a good person because he puts hands on.
I don't even think he's a great warrior. I think that he's
not a good person. Like good person.
Oh yeah, you were saying during the first 6 episodes, you feel like he did something to get out of that.
Yeah, I think that. I mean, that's the only logical.
Yeah.
Like, how do you survive that? And then there's like nobody to verify the story.
Right, and you come back with a whole army.
It's like this.
He was crying
about this
when they asked him how he survived.
Yeah. He tried to change the subject,
especially considering
we don't tell those kind of stories.
Even though they've been
everybody
trying to talk about it since he got there,
right? And then even in this episode, who talks about stories? The brother literally is telling stories.
That's how their information is given. They tell stories about battles that have been won.
So
he is a liar and a traitor and a woman beater and a terrible person.
He is a woman beater. He has never lied.
We
don't know he's a traitor.
He's gonna get his.
That man, listen. That man.
He's gonna die a wonderful death. I already know.
Yes, it's gonna be awesome. But I mean, I
feel like I'm gonna be vindicated.
It was a great episode. It was a great episode.
Nah, yeah, it was, man. Overall, all of them are good. Overall, we're getting set up. I think next week we're gonna get to see more of the queen or the queen's queen mother or the heir's mother. I'm sorry,
the heir's mother.
More of her and what her end game is. So I'm very excited to see that.
We have to see the other side before we see what happens after this evening. We really do. We have to see what's going on over in the main city.
Yeah, man. And what the ship is like. I really want to know why he won't let that man have his ship. Like, what is his plan?
Let him have the ship, and no one has still been in the captain's quarters.
Right.
You're telling me no one's been able to crack open a wooden door on a ship to get into the captain's quarters?
And how many episodes are we supposed to have left? This was episode 7. So
it said so it said 10 on there's certain platforms that say 10 and certain platforms say 12, but we were all under the impression it was 10. When I looked it up, when I was doing some more research, it said 12, like we were going to get more. So I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it's 10.
But it was a limited series. Yeah. So it was like I'm getting 2 different things when I was looking it up.
Okay.
But then if you go on Hulu, I can do that right now. Hey, we're live.
Yeah, they have 7. They have 8 and 9, preloaded.
Yeah.
They usually do that. They put the next 2 episodes up.
That's a lot to wrap up in 3 episodes, man. I mean, they can do it, but I'm interested.
3 hours, they got it.
Yeah, but it's like we say, I mean, that would make sense. Seeing what's going on the other side, coming back to what's going on there, and then the big battle.
Yeah.
And then if that's it, and then it's the actual 10th episode. Yeah, so 7, 8, 9. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
big battle and showing the Shogun become the Shogun.
Yep.
I like how they showed Fuji also training with the.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that. That's why I'm saying. I'm telling you, she coming.
Yeah,
I like her a lot.
but she can use guns too.
Yeah, she got the guns. Too.
She got guns.
And she coming.
Ooh,
Man.
that final battle about to be fire.
Yeah, so yeah, it just says 8. This just has 8 and 9 up here. So next Tuesday and April 16th, we got some stuff to watch. Oh, they got a podcast?
Yeah, they got a podcast that goes with it too through Hulu.
All right, man. Well, I mean, that's what I said. I'm gonna die on this hill with my man Toda. Hold on, wait. Let me see. Do I got him?
Oh my gosh, you're gonna change the background to this
I was
bald head.
You lucky I can't. You lucky I can't because you know I would. I was about to, but I can't. Yeah, him and his bald head. Yeah,
bald head.
I'm gonna die on that shit. I'm gonna die on that hill.
Oh, gross bald head. That joint don't even like he shave it.
Nah, like real talk.
Woman beating bald head.
I legit
women beating bald head.
Yeah, I didn't like
upset for no reason. He was upset the first scene we saw him in. Why are you so mad?
He mad because his wife doesn't like you just said she don't give him affection.
Bruh, then leave her.
She gave him a child. That's all you needed. And it's a boy. That's all you needed. That's all you needed.
He wants love, man.
Then go get it from somebody else. Right. He just wants to control her. It's not about
he wants love from the person he loves.
No, bro. No, bro.
Don't love that girl.
Okay.
You don't love that girl at all, bro.
All right, yeah. Anyway. All right, I think that's it, man. Thank you guys for watching. Oh, dang, we ran a little longer than I thought. A lot longer than I thought we were gonna go. But hey, thank you guys for watching. Until next time, we out.
Deuces.